All right, everybody, welcome to another Gators Breakdown Plus member chat right here on this Monday evening. Not your normal Monday evening during the football season show with my co-host Will Miles. I am David Waters, of course, Gators Breakdown. If you're catching the replay of this, but we are live here with a Gators Breakdown Plus member chat. And like I said, a little different, of course, because it's the holiday season and Thanksgiving this week. So Will's traveling, spending some time with family. He will be in Gainesville this weekend, so get to hang out with Will and Max coming to the game. We all know Max has been a good luck charm there, so looking forward to seeing Will and Max and Will's family one more time. Don't get to see him in person all too much, being up there in Philadelphia, but so that opens up the changing of a schedule this week. So we're going to do right here on this Monday night, instead of Sunday nights, we like we normally do, just decided to go ahead and let's move it a day, kind of make up for Will being gone. And let's do the member chat on this Monday evening. So Sponge and Alex and I will be together Tuesday at 11:30 live on YouTube for our Q&A episode this week, all over the place because of the holiday schedule. So, and then I want everything out of the way. Since this is Gators Breakdown Plus, I will open up the conversation a little bit, but me, my wife, my daughter, big Stranger Things fans. Comes out 8 o'clock Wednesday night, first part of the last season. So everything's got to be put out of the way. Unless a certain coach makes a decision, of course. But I wouldn't expect that. But that's the only thing that's going to get in the way Wednesday evening. So not expecting anything. So my family would kill me, I think, too. But I have to do what has to be done. But I'm not counting on anything there Wednesday evening in regards to Lane Kiffin, of course. But that's kind of the layout of this week and why I'm moving things around. Spend some time with the family. Got some more family coming in for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys do too. And enjoy this week as much as you can. There's just been a lot to follow, of course, the last month or so. But decompress if you can. I had to over the weekend a little bit. I had to go enjoy the tailgate, step away from it all a bit, and just be a fan. Just be a fan for a little while. And so, of course, in natural conversation, I would talk about it. But we all know what's going on. But I wanted to enjoy myself. Saw some people I hadn't saw in quite some time at the tailgate for Tennessee. So good time. So, all right, everybody, you can use the chat box as well, or, of course, hopping in here and giving me your thoughts, Gators Breakdown Plus members. And one more time, thanks for all the new memberships out there, and thanks for all the OGs and everybody who's just been around for a long time. I know it's gotten a little more busy in the Discord. It's like everybody's getting along for the most part, old members, new members. So everybody thinks, that's kind of what I want this place to be. If you're not members yet, try to be respectful as much as possible. I try to keep up with it as much as possible as that regard. So trolling at a minimum, disrespect that's close to zero because I don't stand for it. And we got it going good right here on Gators Breakdown Plus. So everybody, become a member if you haven't done so yet. Link is in the description, gatorsbreakdownplus.com, all that good stuff. You can find it right here. Just to get us through. A lot going on, of course. A lot going on. So, all right, let's get to it. Everybody hit that like button if you're catching the replay. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, on YouTube as well. But we will get into, of course, the conversation. Lane Kiffin decision week. We'll get into the latest on some of the other candidates as well. I've kind of put some news in the Discord today. We got an Insider Heat channel now. So, you guys have been enjoying that. But put some news in there today, too, that we will get to on this member chat. So, as we do for most of them, let's get Ryan in here to start us off. Gators Breakdown Plus member chat, regular Ryan. So, what's up, my man?
What's up, Dave?
I'm doing well.
Man,
I'm doing well, man.
Look what you've got built here. Man, it is awesome. I'll tell you.
Thank you much.
Congratulations. Like I said in the one of the OG room, you owe Lane Kiffin an Amazon gift card this Christmas just for all the extra membership he stirred up.
I'll give him a Gators Breakdown Plus membership.
There you go. Even better.
Or whoever. Or whoever the next coach is.
Man, come on, Dave. Let's not talk like that. It's got to be Lane.
You know me.
I know the message. I mean, the main chat is already starting to second guess it and come up with their second choice, which is everybody's been second choice, Lincoln Riley. But I'm still, you know me. I mean, especially under Napier, I've been kind of a pessimist. I'm feeling a little bit optimistic, which is rare for Lane. I mean, I just look at all the stuff that has been presented to us now. Unless LSU is just done everything even way more secret than us, and we're using, the search firm that's supposed to be known for this.
Yeah.
Then they still haven't even met Lane Kiffin officially, as far as I've seen.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. But so before you go, let me update everybody on that because you brought it up. I was going to go there, but Pete Nakos of On 3, of course, put it out today, a report from On 3, confirming what we've all known in here now, that Kiffin's camp met with Florida officials on Thursday evening. We've known about that since Thursday. Like you said, no mention of one with LSU, but of course that means there wasn't one with them as well. But good point about the what's out there, what's not out there. And then of course one of the major parts of the article was, I won't be surprised to see something leak on Friday morning, or source told On 3. So of course we know the Ole Miss statement comes out last week, and then we get the announcement that they expect a Lane Kiffin decision announcement on Saturday, the day after the Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl's played Friday at noon. If you guys didn't know that. So, but yeah, going to your point and going to the report earlier today from On 3, does seem to be that message there.
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to believe that they were able to pull off secret meetings, with Lane Kiffin and his officials to talk all these numbers that keep rising as each day goes by. I mean, the contract was the last one I saw was I can't even remember. It was some message board LSU was like $48 million a year for NIL and his salary. Some crazy number like that.
Yeah, I think that
like I said, their numbers keep changing.
Yeah, I think that would include NIL and rev share.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was NIL and his salary, I think, just annually, the two numbers. It was like 32, like, I don't know, 14 a year, and then I can't remember, 32 or 33, 34 for NIL, which was absurd.
Yeah.
But like I said, LSU's number keeps changing each day. And as far as I know, we haven't really heard a concrete number come from UF or Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, in the reports, and I believe even that report from Pete Nakos said they're all similar, And what have we heard from Kiffin? It's not going to be about money. But
yeah,
here's the thing. I think there might be some truth to that. Given the Ole Miss documentary that came out and how much he's changed and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me. You're still going to have to be close. I mean, you're not going to lowball the guy because of a comment like that or whatever. But I go by an old adage, and I always stand and I stand by it. It's always about money. So no matter what people say, that is an adage that holds up a lot. So we'll go that route to it as well. But I do agree in some ways. If it's close and it's not like a insulting offer, it may not be the final decision or the piece of the decision.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that those numbers that LSU's throwing out there are real. I mean, I get it. He's going to make a lot of money. You can't, like, one week LSU's governor come on TV and complain about paying coaches way too much money and still negotiating, a buyout with Brian Kelly, and then the next week say, yeah, we're going to pay Kiffin this $100 million contract. It just doesn't add up to me. I mean, I know it's LSU. They stole money from children's hospitals to fund athletics. So I'm not putting it past them. I'm just saying, given the evidence that I've seen, it just doesn't make a lot of sense right now to me.
Yeah, and speaking on money, and that's one reason I brought up, LSU a lot when it was when they fired Brian Kelly. I was like, I didn't really want that to happen. And then people were, you just get messy. There's no way. I'm like, guys, there is a way. It's LSU. And
Yeah,
and another thing about money always finds a way. So, it might be, well, they can't afford a buyout with Brian Kelly and a new contract and revenue for the next coach and Lane Kiffin. Money always finds a way. So that's why I don't dismiss it. That's why I never dismissed it. They are, credit to LSU, known to be a crazy, rabid, football, insane fan base. So how far does that go?
I mean, yeah. We'll see. It's going to be a fun 3 or 4 days.
Man,
I'll be glad when it's over.
Me too. I've seen some stuff out there of other fan bases of like fan base thing. Oh, I can't sleep because of all that. Well, I'm not going that far.
But definitely not.
I was at the point where Saturday I was like, you know what, I'm going to Gainesville and stuff. Like, I know what we brought up, but I'm telling myself, take a step back and enjoy everything else that you can.
Yeah. It's just it's too much. And the worst part about it is say he doesn't come, then we're right back, starting all back over. All this craziness.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm glad you brought that up though. And then I'll go to, and Ryan, stay in, but I'll go to somebody else and we can
absolutely
jump in and stuff. I'm glad you said that because timeline is an important topic right now when discussing all this. And of course, I think we'll probably know before. It'll probably start leaking out, I would imagine, maybe late Wednesday. I don't think it'll be that early, but I think I could see it happening. Thursday is Thanksgiving, so it could get weird. Who knows what happened on Thanksgiving? But then you got the Egg Bowl Friday, and it's a noon game, so there's going to be a lot of eyeballs and a lot of media around Ole Miss and Mississippi State game, of course. So who knows? I mean, a lot of people start getting together and talking, and so yeah, I think we'll probably have a pretty good idea on Friday. We'll see what Saturdays holds since that's supposed to be the day that Ole Miss gave us. But then, talking about timeline and here, this, and maybe what we hear this week is, and I put this in the Discord. Don't be surprised, and I don't think it will mean much if you do hear about meetings with other candidates for Florida and besides Lane Kiffin, because we know the timeline of when you want a head coach in here. You want it as soon as possible, sure, but we got to let the season play out. We've all maintained our, greenies, as you guys want to call them, our VIPs in here, have maintained this. All right, we'll likely wait until the end of the season here. But you're going to want a head coach as soon as that final whistle blows against Florida State, or even before, of course, if you can get it with Lane Kiffin's timeline that we know of right now. But we know you want, if he's not the guy, you want somebody almost right away. So these interviews are going to be happening, have happened. He's not the only guy who, and it should be that way. You can't stand by just in case. Competition ramped up, especially when LSU got thrown into the mix. So there's, of course, an opportunity that's Lane Kiffin, as good as you maybe have felt at one point in this race, may not be the guy. So if you start hearing this candidate and that candidate, and this meeting's happened, that meeting's happened, you have to do your due diligence, because you cannot wait. As soon as you get that answer, and if it's no, you've got to pivot. And you're not doing your main interviews right then. All these interviews have got to be out the way. And you put the final touches on whoever it is, if it's not Lane Kiffin. So if you do hear about it, I think to me, it'd be more due diligence than anything than Florida got an answer and it's no from Lane Kiffin. If you start hearing about more meetings with this guy or that guy.
Do you think because of the timeline, Turnkey has already been working other candidates and maybe they're maybe that hasn't gotten out?
Yeah, I think so.
And that we will have a head coach by Monday after the FSU game, regardless if it's Kiffin. If Kiffin says LSU, we've already pivoted that, and we already knew that, or he's already informed us that was the case, and we've already covered that base and gone to the next guy, Riley or whoever it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't go Monday, but I'd say the following Wednesday.
Okay. No, still. So within a week after the Florida State game.
I would think. I would hope as well. Maybe it's more hope. I don't. However this thing is going to go. But to me, it would. If you have this search firm and you're paying a lot of money, I think if you don't get your top guy, unless there's just a lot of torn opinions of who the next guy is, maybe that delays it. But I think you have this search firm in here to speed things up to an acceptable pace.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
All right, Bobby G. I think he was next in the thing here. Yep.
Hey Dave, how you doing, sir?
I am good. Thanks for asking.
Well, you guys pretty much kind of hit what I wanted to ask because
Okay.
I'm new to a lot of it with the turnkey. Could you explain how it really works with them? Is this why it feels like so much is leaking on the LSU side and all this coming out where the Gator side appears to be so quiet?
I think it's kind of mixed. I mean, because the initial numbers and the numbers hitting the national media, that certainly came from the LSU side. Now, I don't know why. Was that they had Florida's number and, okay, here's what we're doing. Is it, hey, here's a message to our fan base of, hey, we're trying. This is what we're doing here. Kind of going to that point, and we just did discuss it, with Brian bringing it up. I mean, the details of Florida's meeting Thursday nights out there, so it's not completely shut down. It's not completely quiet, but in talking with others and you guys as well, and past turnkey clients, it does seem like they prefer to keep it as quiet as possible. And I think some of this is if how Lane wants to handle it as well. I mean, of course, I think on their end, him and Jimmy Sexton's end, a lot can come out that way too. So while the info that comes out can be alarming, can be noticed, if it comes out there, it doesn't necessarily mean it comes from Florida. You have other parties involved as well. You have Lane, you have Jimmy Sexton, you have other agents, you have other coaches, you have another school, 2 other schools with Ole Miss and LSU. So if a lot of the info gets out there, it might really be hard to know exactly where the info came from. So even if you start hearing a lot of Florida info, I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, turnkey's not doing their job or something like that. It could be some of these other schools putting out info about Florida.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping in. All right, let's see who was next. I thought it gave me a summary on the side here. Yeah, it does. AR-15's burner. Hey, AR-15 is in here with his burner. Coming in here on the Discord as he comes in, let me get to a couple of comments on the side right quick. Shay says, do you think Saturday could be I'm leaving Ole Miss and will announce my school after playoffs, or will we know the school he goes to if he announces he's leaving? That is a good point, Shay. It really could be, if I don't know if it's fully decided. To me, that statement makes it sound like it's been decided somewhat about Lane Kiffin's future in Ole Miss, and it still could be. I'm going to coach the playoff, and I am leaving, but I'm going to coach the playoff. I would assume a decision still comes out because it helps Lane Kiffin. It helps the next school. It helps Jimmy Sexton get this. I mean, the article today that came out is Lane Kiffin holds all the keys. I don't think we're going to go much longer. Whether he's coaching playoff or not, I think we get our answer. I do think we get the answer by Saturday. Because this does have to get going, and not just for Lane in Florida, Lane in LSU. Jimmy Sexton is going to want to get the ball rolling too. So I think Florida would wait. LSU would probably wait. But that is a good point. I think it is possible. I think it's possible that could be the case. Announce the school after the playoffs, but without knowing a hard date, how long will LSU go into the playoff or Ole Miss go into the playoffs? I think we get the answer this weekend.
How you doing, David?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So what do you think about like the whole Saturday thing time frame wise? If it doesn't get leaked Friday, do you think we'll know before the game or?
I do.
You do?
I do. There's a big show on ESPN Saturday mornings at 9:00.
College game day. Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
I would imagine I would imagine somebody wants something out there by then.
Oh, yeah. And Lane, he loves the media.
There's that angle. To me, whoever it is, I mean, it would be a sign of victory for Florida and LSU as well. So the schools would want it out there. Hey, I mean, first of all, it's the biggest story in college football right now.
Oh, no doubt.
Bigger than Ohio State, Michigan, bigger than Auburn, Alabama. You got rivalry week coming up, and the biggest story in college football is where Lane Kiffin's going to go. So, I find it hard to believe, especially with that Saturday ultimatum is probably the wrong word because I don't know if it was an ultimatum, but the announcement of the Saturday decision by Ole Miss. I can imagine we know pretty early on Saturday.
Yeah. Another question I have is how are all these LSU sources getting their information? Like the thing with the general manager a couple of days ago that turned out to be total lies, where Strickland wouldn't let him have full control. Are these just random people saying these things, or is these LSU insiders who don't know what they're talking about, or how are things like that leaking out that are turning out to be total lies, bullshit, pretty much?
Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, even on Florida's end, and we discussed a little bit too. I mean, maybe it was something that was brought up, but something that wasn't really set in stone by Strickland, or maybe it was hey, I won't even say, can we do it this way? But hey, how about this proposal? And then somebody takes that the wrong way. Somebody says, oh, look at here, he's trying to mess it up, or this is how, it never really got that far, but that's how it's being spun, that it got that far. So, that's of course, without being in the room and stuff, but we all heard it. We all heard that might be a sticking point or whatever. And then not too long after that, it's not, it was overblown. It's been resolved. It's no issue. We'll see where that goes, but that is a good question. I don't know where they would get that. It wouldn't be me saying anything like that. I don't think some of the other Florida media would put that out there either. So that is a good question. I hadn't really thought about it from that angle, is where they would get that. Maybe following some of the Florida boards or something. Believe me, there's other team media members in the other message boards and all that stuff that are out there. So I can see it happening that way.
Yeah, and you got them reading the call who says that we're going to get freaking Blue Mountain State's head coach. So, yeah, but it's going to be a crazy week. I mean, I'm surprised that this Discord hasn't melted down at least 15 times per day. It's only been in a 10 times per day basis. So we're not doing too bad.
Par for the course, I think that's everybody out there.
Yeah, I kind of just, after Friday, I was just like, I'm just going to say we're getting Lane until Saturday, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
I mean, the mantra's been it's Lane until it's not. So I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it as well. And
it's Lincoln Riley until it's not.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I got out in front of it as much as I could with the whole LSU side of things. I was like, it's at the very least going to muddy everything up. But you got to give them their due. They were going to be a competitor here. So I wish it was a lot cleaner. I was hoping Brian Kelly wouldn't get fired, but here we are.
Looking back, I wish Saban would have just said yes to LSU. 3-year, $100 million contract.
That would be.
Well, David, that's it for me. So.
Okay, man. Thanks for hopping in here.
Of course.
Like I said, you can stay in and with some of these other comments if you want. Let me get TB Gator in here. And I can hit some.
Another thing, Dave, with Turnkey being so hush hush and knowing that, that usually stuff doesn't get out, and if you just look at some of their past hires, that's usually the case. How do we know that any of this information that's coming out, even the rumor about the GM, is real? I mean, it could be all just made up stuff that LSU's putting out there, and that's kind of how I feel. If Turnkey's really doing a closed door search and trying to keep it, no leaks, then there won't be any leaks, I wouldn't think.
Ryan, one thing I've learned, man, people love to talk.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think it is just talk.
Yeah, people love to talk. I mean, it could be the truth too, but people just And hey, look, thankful. I'm thankful for that in some ways, because
Yeah,
sometimes we can share stuff with you guys. There's some sensitivity things that you don't necessarily want to get at. Look, I will be honest with you guys, and I've stood by this, and I will always stand by it. If there's a chance, it could even be good news. If there's a chance I think it can hurt Florida, I'm not putting it out there. I don't. And it might could be gatekeeping information, and my Gators Breakdown Plus, a Discord, and Gators Breakdown was never meant to be an insider podcast. Was never meant to be a newsbreaker. Never meant to be a reporter. I just want to talk Gator football. That's what I want to do. If information falls in my lap, fine. And if I can share it with you guys, I will. But to me, I will use the ultimatum. If I even think the good news can be turned around to hurt Florida in any kind of way, I am not putting it out there. But a lot of people like to talk, and I'm glad they do. I'm glad they do in some ways. But if I think it hurts, I'm not putting it out. And I'm not saying those guys are trying to hurt, because when I think when information will come my way, I think a lot of people know that's how I'm going to handle it. So I'm not going to put it out there if I think it'll hurt Florida.
Yeah, and hey, who knows? Maybe you just happen to be at the right bar at the right time at a Holiday Inn one night, talking to the right turnkey employee, and something slipped.
had too many drinks.
That's right. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I go back to what I said before. It's just there's one fan base that's really, really loud, and
we've seen them back off a little bit.
Yeah, and then there's one side that's just kind of quiet, and I haven't seen a lot come from. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just kind of makes. I may be wrong. I'm been wrong plenty of times as a Gator fan, and I may be disappointed. I've also been disappointed plenty of times as a Gator fan, but I feel like it's Lane Kiffin.
No, I'm still leaning that way. Here we are, the Monday before the decision. I mean, that still would be my Vegas pick. If I got to put money down on it, that's where my wallet would go. Lane to the swamp. You're in here, man.
Hey, Dave. It's good to be here. I first of all just want to say that the community is awesome. I feel like everyone said that, but it is funny, but also I think meaningful in a lot of ways.
Thank you, man.
Have all these people together. I asked this in the chat, but I was curious about your thoughts. Obviously, the focus is on Lane right now, but I guess as that number 2 option, and you've already been talking about it, but we're going to have those discussions this week. And I was wondering which guys you think we're going to be talking to. I mean, we've obviously mentioned Lincoln Riley. We've talked about, we haven't talked about, but John Summerall's in there. What are some of the other guys you think we'll potentially talk to this week as we try to find a backup?
So I will go back to, because these are the names that we've put out there. So I was going to go this route anyway, of course. And of course we knew we would, because this is kind of where the coaching search is right now. I will go to the On3 article that was put out today, because it's the names that we've talked about, just as another point of reference in this coaching search. You mentioned Lincoln Riley. They did not mention him in here, but I feel confident in putting that out there. We know he's been vetted. I think there's, there might be interest from the Florida side if they don't get Lane Kiffin. So we'll go from there. And, all the talk about him possibly wanting out of LA, leaving USC. So I think it's fine to bring it up. Louisville's Jeff Brom. Jed Fish name is coming up from the On3 article as well. Eli Drinkowitz, it says, has become a popular name in the LSU search too, which we know about as well. So still putting his name into the Florida mix. You mentioned John Summerall. I think Summerall, of course, would be the first probably G5 name. Auburn in the mix there, of course. And then Keith Niebuhr put it out there, and On3 is putting it out there as, Keith does work for On3, but Pete Nakos put it out there in the article that came out. Clark Lee from Vanderbilt as well. One name you didn't notice there, and I put it in the Insider Heat today, Brent Key. I do not think Brent Key would be on the list anymore. I think he's going to stay at Georgia Tech. I think he wants to stay at Georgia Tech. So that's where I'll go with that. Even some thought that Auburn might be in that mix for Brent Key. But as of now, of course, I would say things can change, but I would say Brent Key no longer, or not on the board right now. I'm thinking he is choosing to stay at Georgia Tech, his alma mater.
Well, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he said he bleeds the colors and everything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, he's kind of put that out there and put it on the line. I think most of us are probably in agreement just because of where Florida football comes from, that Lane and Lincoln are a good 1 and 2. I guess my question to you would be after that, I mean,
Yeah.
where would you go from there? I mean, do you go the young route, John Summerall, who is a bit more of an unknown, which, I mean, I can see that in some ways. I think he would recruit well, things like that I can see. But at the same time, I mean, you're going a defensive route. I don't think a lot of Gator fans would be super happy about that. Yeah, I guess. What are your thoughts on that?
And the whole coming from the Sun Belt and another Louisiana school. I mean,
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah.
Look, in a vacuum by itself, John. I mean, look, everybody thinks John Summerall is going to be a good head coach. I mean, you talk to media members out there, you talk to people who know football, and say, hey, who's the next up and comer guy? And his name is top of the board. His name's top of the list. It's just Florida went through that with Billy Napier, and it's very similar. Billy Napier was interviewing at South Carolina and turning them down, interviewing at Virginia Tech and turning them down, interviewing at Auburn and turning them down. It's very similar to what we see here with Summerall and the success at the Sun Belt and moving your way up from Troy and Tulane being there and kind of continuing the success that they've had as a G5 program. There's a lot to be said about that. It's just if Florida just didn't go through it, it probably would make a lot of sense. But I just don't know if you can rinse and repeat if you're Florida. Maybe that's not fair. If Turnkey has done their homework and done their research, and they're not, I would think, not connecting the dot of a Billy Napier coming from Lafayette and coming to Gainesville as a Gator head coach. I would not think that dot would be connected by them. It would live on its own. He might be higher up on the board because of that. So it is interesting. As far as being the third guy, I don't think he'd be that high. There probably is a whole lot about. Yeah, probably is a lot about.
They drink with.
Yeah, I mean.
No, don't say that. Don't even say it.
I don't know.
Dilly before drink.
Dilly, for sure. Hey, you guys know me. I've been on the Dillingham thing a long time. Would he
Just get drink out of y'all's mouths. Don't even talk about it.
Would Dillingham be attainable? That's just I don't know. I think he lives in the same neighborhood with his parents there at Arizona. That's where he grew up. I mean, he's an Arizona guy. Being there at Arizona State. So there would be a lot to pull him from there. Jeff Brom, the game day coach, I like. You guys know I had a source I reached out to that was on the Louisville staff, says he don't think it would be a good fit for Florida as far as the relationship part of it, the maybe personality part of it. I still like him as a coach. He's very up and down at Louisville, but ACC to me is really grouped together as far as talent goes. But at the same time, so is the SEC toward the top where you want to be. So I do like him as a game day coach, though. So I wouldn't be completely disappointed, but there's still a lot of questions I have. Lane, Lincoln, behind those two, I really don't know, guys. It's you're hurting a little bit after that. Such a weird. Here's the thing: we're in this busy coaching carousel, and we had the uniqueness of so many guys being at their alma maters. I mean, that is such a
you're right.
Weird place to be with Dillingham and Key and Lee and Brom. I mean, you're those next tier of guys that everybody talks about is there.
So what you're saying is the third on the list is Fish.
That's a good point since we could bring it up to Florida. And then look, it's not as deep as those guys and Fish and his Florida tie and stuff like that. But maybe that's where I was not meaning to go on purpose. But hey, that brings me to a question. Let me bring it up because I said I was going to put it in the chat tonight. Because it was brought up, Ryan Hicks, earlier in the Discord. And it's a good question. You guys can answer it since you're still on the line right now. Would you take Riley today versus waiting on Lane and him choosing Ole Miss or LSU? Assumptions include NIL money and staff money stays the same as what's being offered. Ryan says he thinks he would. So one more time, would you take Lincoln Riley right now with everything else, or wait it out with Lane Kiffin?
Ooh, I mean, for me, I think I said this earlier, but I would because of the uncertainty of Lane. As much as I obviously want him to be the coach, I think he's the right fit. You don't necessarily know what's always going on inside his head. And I would love to think that he's already made his decision and that he's picked Florida. But I think the uncertainty of that in this moment, if I could take a coach that I know we would have a top 5 offense every year, which we would, people might say that we wouldn't, but with the pedigree that he has, and as someone who goes to all the games and is a season ticket holder, I want to see the offense in person be much, much better than it is right now. And so, yes, to answer your question, I think I would. And maybe that's a little not a selfish way of looking at it, but I mean, I what I've been watching in person. I mean, we both have. You've been at all the games too. I mean, it is hard, really hard to watch as a diehard fan. I mean, and it's time for a change. I think on that side of the ball more than anything, and that's why I struggle to get around to a guy like Summerall. If Lane and Lincoln are there, So that would be my answer to that question. But I don't have
what about you, Ryan?
too much else. I can let somebody else talk.
Yeah, if we were still having to play the waiting game, then I agree. We take Lincoln now. The longer this plays out, the less likely.
Okay, well, let me put the stipulation on it. We still found out Saturday. We just don't know the answer yet.
We found out what Saturday?
I'm just saying. Just say the decision comes this Saturday, Florida or LSU. We just don't know yet. It doesn't go past that. Do you still wait on Lane, or are you still leaning right? Do you still lean Riley?
So we know she's picking Florida. We just gotta wait.
No. I thought you meant. I thought you meant by waiting it out, for however long it would be, past Saturday.
But that's what the question. Yeah, it'd be you're waiting out until he's done coaching, right? Until he makes a decision.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying just say that decision comes Saturday, but we don't know the answer. Would you go ahead and take? Would you go ahead and take Lincoln 5 days before Saturday? Say Lincoln Riley says, "All right, I'm coming to Florida right now." Would you take that?
That's a crapshoot. Because what if Lane's already said yes, and you're just like, oh wait, just hired Lincoln without me. I'm going to LSU.
All right, put it this way: no answer from Lane. We're still waiting on Saturday.
You got to go with Lincoln.
Okay.
Because if you don't have an answer and you don't know an answer, the longer it plays out, the less likely I feel it's Florida for me personally.
Okay.
I think he either knows now, and I know this is all hypothetical. I think he either knows now or he really is torn. And if he's really torn, then all kinds of craziness can happen. That's when things can start, really crazy numbers can start coming in.
It's probably stupid, but I would wait it out.
And plus, it would never come to that because, we talked about earlier.
Yeah. But it was a good
question. It was a good question. It is. Yeah, I agree. It's because it's what do you do? Do you want to answer now, or do you want to keep prolonging this madness?
Yeah.
If you don't know the answer.
Yeah, for me, it's
But-
the difference between the two right now. I mean, Lane's been winning more, and he's been winning more in the SEC.
in the SEC is the thing.
Yep. So
Both are offensive geniuses. Both
Yep.
will have great quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, those parts are true. I would say Lane's probably a little bit better at getting a defensive coordinator since he's done it in the SEC. His defenses have been better.
Had one of the top defenses in the country last year.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, for Florida, you want offense first. I mean, yeah, I mean, we've been saying it since the beginning that it was Lane and then Lincoln was most people's number two. We didn't think Lincoln was a realistic choice, or maybe we just thought it was just a rare possibility or just a slim possibility. But that's always been 1 and 2. It's always been after that is when you start questioning. And unfortunately, as much as I talk about how much I don't think the Florida fan base we would all, none of us would like the Drink pick. He would be an option if we got past Lane and Lincoln, unfortunately.
Probably, and it would definitely be a
So-
settle because I mean it's kind of come out too that even the LSU fan base is it's man, it is so funny.
Yeah.
It is like you watch if you're on social media or you go to another team's message board, and anytime Eli's name is brought up, it's like, no. It's like you put the cross up, with your fingers. You're crossing your fingers like a vampire, like taking a vampire away
I
from
hate
you.
it for the guy. I mean, he's a solid coach. It's I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I guess you just kind of see like he's kind of maybe he's reached his potential.
Him or Sumrall.
So Sumrall.
Okay. I actually think I would go Drink.
I have to think about it. I might would change that answer only because of his SEC experience. But good God, man, it's just
Yeah, I know.
it'd be a tough pill to swallow.
I'm not crazy about it, but
yeah, it'd be a tough pill to swallow. But as a Gator fan, I would be making lies for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me bring Corey in here. JP Gator on that remark too. He says, I like that Lane has done it with lesser talent. Riley is a lead on offense, but Alton has first round pick type of talent. Good point. Really good point, JP.
Yeah. But on the flip side, he's also coached 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks or Heisman winning quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Dave.
What up, Corey?
I'm biting my tongue over here. Our fallback is Lincoln Riley, right? And
I hope he is. I mean,
well, yeah.
there's some people out there, and we've had it in here for a few weeks now that he could be a legit quote unquote fallback.
Dave, remember last year I was trying to convince you that he was our fallback last year. Whenever everybody was on the Lane train around, like earlier last season. I was like, all those statues, that we could have. I mean, look what he would bring. Like we would have, if he was our coach, we'd have 3 more statues out front, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, man, when has that guy ever fielded a defense?
I know.
You have to have some sort of assurance that like some type of intervention could be done with. Hey, man, year one didn't look so great with your defense again, and this is what you've been your entire career. It's great if we can put up points, and I mean, I guess that's Florida's ball game pretty much. I mean, we just want to score and score and score. But man, we've been through some bad years when we've scored and it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I guess the thought from some would be, and then we know it doesn't mean you're going to have a good defense for sure, but you can get the athletes here. And that's why we're so disappointed when the defense isn't good, is because we mostly like the talent that's on that side of the ball for the most part. You're just not putting great, you put in great spots. So you can at least have the talent pool to put together a good defense. But you're right. I mean, he's made some changes. And speaking of Josh Pate, he's been mentioned a lot the last couple of days, but he has explained the Lincoln Riley experiment at USC pretty good. There were some self-admitted mistakes in the staff that he brought and started with at USC, and he's made some changes, and those changes aren't going to yield results right away on that side of the ball. It would be something that might take a year or two to get there. So that's part of it. The willingness to make the changes is a good sign. But making those changes is going to have to pay off. And you're right. I mean, I just looked at it right now. I looked it up while you were talking about it. In total defense right now in 2025, USC is 54th in the country, giving up 352.5 yards a game.
That's a hell of a lot better than they have.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
It's not terrible. And guess who they're one spot in front of?
But it's a lot better.
They're one spot ahead of, because this is the team we've watched. They're one spot ahead of Vanderbilt.
Interesting.
Yep. Utah, who's always known as a pretty good defense, 51st. So, and we've watched Auburn's defense.
And they haven't.
Auburn's defense is 38. That's a defense we've watched a lot this year. So
I just gave up 42 to Oregon.
Yeah, that's true.
Saturday.
Yep. Hey, but wait, I think special teams. I think there were maybe two special team touchdowns in that.
You're right. I think.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
and
right.
he was also in special teams. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't. We need special teams as well. So there are three bases in this game. Yeah.
Pros and cons.
So
pros and cons. He's got the number one recruiting class right now. So he's
how many of those West Coast kids come to Florida? And then how many of them?
I'm just saying he's a good recruiter.
Yeah. And then a defense we watch a defense we watch every week. Florida in that category is 69th. Nice. So USC 54, Florida 69. So there's your comparison.
And we've given up.
The defense that we watch each and every week is 69th in the country. And
how is that possible?
It's very similar.
That's total defense. That's only one metric. So, it's not the end all be all for sure. But here, let me find
End all.
Here, let me go points per game. Let me find that right quick.
Points adjusted for opponent would be the best.
Yeah, it'd take me too long to find that one right now for the site I need to go to. But so I'm sure somebody else has got it in here. They can find it, but scoring defense. Here we go.
I think. Well, the bottom line there is we're
60th.
probably very similar.
Yeah,
we're probably very similar on defense as far as outcome adjusted for opponent.
Yeah, there you go. 23.5 points per game. That's USC at 60. Florida is 65 at 24.3. So it's
you would have to argue we have better.
Yeah,
we have better talent, Dave.
You
would have to.
I mean, maybe similar, maybe
on defense.
Once you take out Caleb Banks,
right?
I don't like our safeties. So I mean,
the front half of our defense is much more talented than I can. If you want to like, it's hard to really compare the backfields in that respect.
Yeah.
Are we talking our current defense or the defense we started the year with?
Overall,
I got what Corey's saying there. Yeah. So
I'm just
I would try.
I mean, we're talking about like Miles Graham, and
if we got time, I'd love to just touch on the Florida State game, Dave.
We absolutely have time for
the Florida State game.
We absolutely have time for that. We got. Let me see. Let me make sure we hit all the coaching things I wanted to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me get through. I think we did. I think we did a good job there. We got some comments here too. Go ahead. Let's get some Florida State talking. I'll come back around on the comments right quick. But
I'm just
rivalry game that certainly rivalry game that certainly lost its luster. Only thing you're playing for now is laughing at Florida State for keeping Mike Norvell and keeping him out of
That's enough.
a bowl game.
That's enough for me. Let's just do it for that reason right there.
I think they'll come to play. I mean, you'd have to imagine last game of the season.
Yeah, they
I
will.
don't think it's going to be enough. We're so beat up. Offense.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that
anybody
we're
can
going
give
to
it
make
a
their
go,
offense. Their offense is already solid. They're going to score points. I don't know if we can stop them as much as we need to, and then we're going to get on offense. I mean, it is what it is.
You'd think Ball can take over the game versus what they have.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope. But is that going to be enough? I mean, DJ's going to have
Depends
to.
on who we get. I don't know if we can pass the ball. I mean, DJ showed a willingness to run last week. If you've got, I don't know, it's hard to compare coming off going against Tennessee to this.
Yeah, something I wanted to look up since I've been looking at that stat the last 3 games because Florida's given up, over 200 rushing yards in 3 straight games now after not doing it at all before this stretch. In ACC play, I'm trying to look at it. Their highest was against Virginia Tech, 237. That was 2 weeks ago. That was the last game. They only gained 180 yards. Well, only that's still pretty good. 180 yards against North Carolina State, of course, last Friday night. So that's a pretty good showing as well. 110 versus Clemson. They had 132 versus Miami earlier in the year. But so there you go. Just look at their recent rushing statistics. FSU has yet to win a road game yet this year.
Man, don't jinx us. If they rush for 200 yards, they're probably going to win. I mean, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Unless we just lock it down and make them kick field goals, I don't see us surviving that.
Their road games this year, 46-38 loss to Virginia in double overtime, of course, 2013 to Stanford, 24-10 to Clemson, and then 21-11 this past Friday night against North Carolina State. So that's been their road schedule so far this year.
They played 4 road games.
They played Virginia, Stanford, Clemson. Yeah, 4 so far. Florida's their 5th. That's crazy, though. They ended the season at Clemson, home versus Virginia Tech, at North Carolina State, at Florida. So 3 of their last 4 games have been on the road to end the season.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, I don't care. So
after we just went through the last 2 years,
they're giving up 3.3 yards on the ground. If we're talking about Jaden Ball trying to go off. Let's see, 134 last week to North Carolina State. Virginia Tech had 238 on them on 41 carries. But Clemson only had 98. Wake Forest had 85. Miami only had 97.
So they got a good run defense. Decent run defense. I'm not going to say anything FSU's good.
Been a weird team this year, though. Season opening.
I was thinking today maybe Lenore Sellers ends up there next year.
Yeah, who knows? Miami might pay a lot for him. Like they've done every other quarterback last couple of years.
I'm kidding.
From what I've seen on Twitter, FSU's going to be hurting to pay anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll probably go all in this year. I would have to imagine. Going into next season, they're probably going to have to unload on any NIL they have left.
There we go. So let me catch back up on some comments, guys, and then we will get out of here. Let's see here. Lycolos, I hope I'm saying that right. I'd rather watch paint dry than see our offense. It's been so bad.
Yeah.
Brian says we could very well lose to Florida State. It's a very, very real reality. And JP Gator responded, I expected at this point, I'd be shocked if we can stop them from running the ball. That would be my word too. That was the first place I looked. I mean, it's
That
kind of,
quarterback, I mean, or having a dual threat quarterback, it's going to eat us alive.
yeah. Castellanos.
We
Yeah.
can't throw the ball. So
Gavin Perryman, here we go. He says, calling his shot, though. Heisman performance from Castell and Lags. Glenn Season brought up a earlier point for the Lane Kiffin talk and the Lincoln Riley talk. He goes, you could say it took Lane Kiffin until last year to finally find a good defense.
Yeah.
Pretty fair. Yep.
yeah.
JP Gator said, haven't heard Dilly as an option. So because of that, thus for me, Fish would be next in line after the big two.
Yeah, I think that's the order.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think that's the way Florida would want to go or would go.
I feel like it's a safe fallback, you know. The safe fallback with the alumni, you know he's going to look after the program like he's going to. You just look at how many in this era of football, when a lot of us have discounted, you know, hiring an alumni to run your team. Where we're in this hiring cycle where you look around the country at coaches that are successful, all the way from like Kirby Smart to a Dillingham to a Key to, you know, Lee. The guys that are alumni at their school are very successful. I don't know the correlation there or causation or how that worked out during this cycle, but it's very notable for sure.
I gotta go through recent history on that.
Right.
Let's see what that
It
looks.
stands out to me more now than ever before.
Yeah, I mean,
and I know
there is success with it right now.
but
There is success with it right now. There's got to be some.
yeah, but I don't ever remember seeing it be so prolific.
Yeah, well, there's right, and there's a lot of them right now. Yeah,
yeah. So and I can't remember who said it, but it's like you should view an alumni as your baseline hire. Like somebody who's the biggest coach that's an alumni out in the stratosphere out here in big time coaching. All right, so that's your baseline guy. And then you go from there. How many steps forward can we go from there knowing what we know?
I mean, it might be some kind of, I guess, maybe going to your point, some kind of tiebreaker, but I would never start there.
No. Like
I
you
know you're saying
and you take your advantages above that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Zach Tiggs 96 does ask, and I will be honest, I saw it brought up. I don't know how serious. I don't buy into it a whole lot, but Zach did. Because I know I asked the other day, was there any smoke on Urban? Not from me. I haven't heard.
He's already said he's done coaching.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, guys say a whole lot. So
yeah, no, that's true.
You know,
Nick Saban said he wasn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
I don't dismiss what they
if you
say.
get into emergency mode,
but there you go. That's the only way I could see it.
No, like come on, like you're like okay, like 2 years, fix our program.
And
make sure we're in stabilize things.
And maybe you get creative with it. Maybe you say, I'm not saying this is a very, 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 very hypothetical. Say you're in emergency mode, that happens. Then you go get Brian Hartline and say, all right, in 2 years, this is your job.
I like it. What's wrong with it, Dave? I'm going to go put it on Twitter.
You learn on the job. You get the feel for Florida. And
I think this means Pantoni's coming as well. So
that's what I'm saying. Build up what you can build up as much as you possibly can. But look, even I don't want Hartline to get the job right away. You know, if you're trying to get creative and if you're going the coordinator route and stuff, there's a lot more coordinators with more experience than he's got. But that would be about the only way. It's some kind of planned out. But at the same time, if that's your plan, that plan's got to work. Like Urban can't come in and be a disaster because then you're scrapping the whole idea to me. So it would have to be All right, if that's your plan, Urban comes in, has some success, and then hands it over. If it's a nightmare, no, you're starting from ground zero again.
Oh yeah. It's way too risky. It's just completely off the wall, like speculation. What if it's worst case scenario that we could? Yeah.
All right. Good stuff,
All
everybody.
right. Yep. Thanks, Dave.
Yep. Like I said, everybody, a different kind of week this week, just to try and keep it around the lunch hour so we get a little more interaction live. Like I said, Sponge and Alex will be on YouTube live at 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday for our weekly Q&A. A lot of good reviews from that. So I think that's just something we're going to keep on doing here as much as we can. And then, so that would be it. And then at some point, I'll probably go ahead and pre-record Florida State preview and put it out later in the week. Maybe at some point, if you're driving around the state, visiting family, you can listen to Florida State preview. And then, like I said, everybody, if it happens with some news on the coaching search front. We'll be right here. Hopefully get a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of a break. But if not, we'll be right here ready to break it all down right here on Gators Breakdown. Everybody right here in the chat one more time. Gators Breakdown Plus members, thank you so much. And everybody checking out the replay of this chat, thank you for listening, watching, however you consume this episode of Gators Breakdown.
Go Gators.
Gators.
Go Gators.